Greetings, legendary readers. Welcome to Larry's Legendary Library, where I like to explore science fiction, fantasy, and other bits and bobs. Well, today is Magazine Monday, and I thought I would switch it up just a little bit. I thought I would use something a little more current. Clarkesworld, the July 2025 issue number 226. Instead of the usual vintage magazines that I look at, I thought I'd try this. Neil Clarke recently won the Hugo Award for the second year in a row for Best Short Form Editor based on his work for this magazine. And I guess in honor of that, I thought I picked up a copy of the magazine, although you can get it in a PDF. You can also read the stories for free on their website. So I'll include links to all that in the description of my video. But Clarkesworld is a monthly science fiction and fantasy magazine. It was first published in October 2006. Each issue has articles, interviews, and between 6 and 8 stories, works of fiction. And as I mentioned, the magazine is available in print and ebook format. I'll put an affiliate link if you want to buy it from Amazon, or I'll also include the links where you can read them on their website for free. Clarkesworld has been recognized with a multitude of awards. This cover artist, Matt Dixon, if you like his robot art, check out his website. There's a great number of robot images. This cute little robot appears in many of them. He's also on the back. And I'll link his website so you can check that out. I'll give a spoiler-free review of 3 of the stories today. For those that are new here, my L1 to L5 scale runs from lackluster up to legendary. L1 being lackluster, L2 low-key, L3 legit, L4 loaded, and L5 legendary, just so you know where each story lands for me. The first story, Missing Helen by Tia Tashiro. This story is about a troubled young woman named Helen. She has a difficult home life. When she's 16 years old, of an age in which she can determine to allow herself to be cloned, she does that as a way to make money, much like people today might sell their plasma. She uses this money to get out on her own, away from her home life. And the bulk of the story follows her relationships, getting married, subsequently getting divorced. A lot of emotional ups and downs are described, and her clone pops up as expected in the climactic scene near the end. I rated Missing Helen as L2, low-key, for my taste, and let me preface this by saying I recognize that we all have different tastes, but for my taste, it leaned too heavily on the emotional turmoil and not enough on the science fiction or the cloning aspect. So some things to like in this story, but not just a whole lot for me. And so my question, would you ever sell your own cells and make a clone? And if you could, would you? Let me know in the comments. The second story I read, The Walled Garden by Fiona Moore. This story follows a woman named Morag who provided security for a billionaire, but following a tragic robot uprising, she leaves this mansion where she worked and becomes a nomad out in the wilderness. This is a dystopian perhaps a post-apocalyptic story. We see Morag being somewhat skilled at survival, but also picking up some things as she goes, learning some things. She encounters different people, and ultimately she joins a group that, under her leadership, try to build a walled garden to help with their survival in this dystopian environment. Much of technical knowledge of how to build this garden has been lost, but by various creative means, they recover fragments of information and also invent new ways of doing things as well. I like this story. I rated it L3 legit. It is worth reading. Would humanity be able to relearn lost technical knowledge after an apocalypse? I'd love to hear your thoughts. And then the third story, Bits and Pieces on This Floor by Eric Del Carlo. This was more of a true science fiction story than the other two that I read. The main character, Marcel Wyndham, an officer in the Galactic Collective, his task is to remove people known as Seeders from a previously terraformed planet. The collective is abandoning the planet because they have utilized all usable resources and they've all been depleted, and they are no longer going to provide the tech that's required to maintain the environment and the atmosphere. So whoever doesn't leave this planet will die in this alien environment. The only problem is these Seeders have lived on this planet for a long time, over a generation. This is their home, and some of them don't want to leave. And so Wyndham and his partner Koch, along with others, are rounding up the remaining Seeders who refused the earlier opportunities they were given to evacuate, and they are being compelled to leave. Like Missing Helen, there is some past family drama affecting Wyndham, and part of the story deals with him dealing with that. And the climax of the story is him confronting a noteworthy Seeder. I rated this as L4. It's loaded. It's well worth reading. I like the world that was developed, the story. There was some descriptions of alien botany that I found fascinating. The relationship between Wyndham and Koch worked really well. And the twist at the end was interesting. So are you interested in seeing more current magazine reviews sprinkled in with the vintage coverage that I typically provide, or are you vintage only? Let me know in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, legendary readers, and stay legendary. Legendary.